At 5:45 in the morning on Halloween, Greg Merson eliminated Jesse Sylvia to become the 2012 World Series of Poker main event champion. For the win, Merson earned the coveted Diamond main event bracelet, more than $8.5 million, and the title of World Champion. The final table was the longest in main event history, and Card Player TV was there at his post-win press conference to learn more about the marathon battle.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let fatigue get in the way. You know, I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I've pushed myself through tons of hours of poker in the past, and obviously you just have to get through it somehow and don't do anything dumb, because you're never gonna have an opportunity like this again. I mean, very, very unlikely.
What went through your mind on that last, when you made the all-in call? You know, you pushed all in on that last hand. What was through your mind? Were you and Jesse was taking this time? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, the first few hands I knew that I was going to play really tight and passive, and then I was just going to start blasting on him. And if I got a 2-1 chip lead, I was just going to take a shot at winning the tournament. With like a decent equity hand, you know, if you 3-bet calls ace-10 off or ace-jack off, I'm still 40%. Plus, I have the fold equity and all the momentum that comes with if you folds. There, I pretty much just take tons of momentum because I 4-bet him with king-6 off to 18 million before. So when he was talking about his hand and he said it'd be sick if you show up with king-queen here, I was like, oh man, he has king-jack? No way, this is the worst. Because I didn't think he would 3-bet call king-jack for that many chips, you know, because I could just rip ace-4 or something. Then when I saw his hand, I just couldn't believe that I had the best hand. It's just hilarious. But I don't think it's a bad call by him, because I would ship all my small pairs, my ace-x suited, where he's just getting the right price, and it's just, I think it's fine.
Before he even made it heads up, Merson took part in roughly 11 hours of three-handed play with Sylvia and third-place finisher Jacob Balsiger, testing the endurance of all three as play stretched into the early morning.
I just had to keep grinding it out, you know. People either play too tight or too loose, shorthanded, but for the most part, this three-handed match was pretty solid. I mean, Jake struggled in certain spots due to lack of experience, but Jesse played really well, and I couldn't really do much because Jake was having problems in certain spots, and I was out of position against Jesse, so I couldn't really do anything. I just had to start limping and trying to just grind away and pick my spots, and fortunately I ran good where I needed to, and I built up a stack to avoid losing all my chips with king stays king, because I was, you know, winning a bunch of pots before that, and you just can't give up.
Was it experience? Because I mean, you were up over 100, and you all of a sudden went down. At one point you were third, I think, even at one point. I mean, was it experience to keep you to keep on grinding back? Is that what you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw that in Jesse's play as well. And I'm not saying that Jake played bad. I told him over the whole experience how proud I was of him, just for having this type of accomplishment without even being a professional poker player, being a full-time student with no experience, and he handled himself so well on this type of stage. But there is certain spots where his hand reading was off, and he probably made some calls that he wished he didn't, where I don't think me and Jesse would have necessarily done that. But Jake still, I mean, you know, he came in last in chips and got third, so or second to last in chips, I think. And yeah, I'm sure he's stoked. So,
how frustrating was it having Jesse having position on you for the vast majority of those 11 hours?
It wasn't as frustrating as I pictured it being, but it was about 90% of that. Because I pictured it being pretty brutal, because Vanessa was his coach, so I figured he'd be 3-betting more than he normally would since he's a cash game player.
Sure.
But it wasn't too bad. I mean, he was 3-betting me small out of position, which I was happy with, but then I just always had 7-5 off or something, and I couldn't even call in position. So I just had to keep folding when I was getting such a good price, which is frustrating.
In the midst of what was undoubtedly one of the highlights of Merson's young life, he was also reminded of tougher times in the not-so-distant past. Merson has been very open about his struggle with drug addiction, a battle that the world champion thinks could very well have taken his life.
I mean, that's where a lot of the emotion comes from too, because I could possibly not even be alive right now, and that's no exaggeration. I didn't bring that story out to the public to get some like pity story, you know. I just felt comfortable releasing that information with ESPN and how they portray my story, and I thought they did a good job. And over the break, I started my own thread on 2+2, just sharing my story and trying to help people. And I've had a lot of people private message me that didn't want to share it publicly. And anything I can do to help the community with this problem, because we live such a ridiculous, fast-paced lifestyle, it's so easy to get caught up in the wrong stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's something that I look forward to helping more people with, or sharing my story.
Merson's story will undoubtedly be shared with millions now, as he enters the history books as the 2012 World Series of Poker main event champion.